Hi students, once again welcome back to our lecture series on polynomials. See, those who didn't watch my previous videos, just try to watch it first. Then only you will be able to understand today's topic. See, before entering into our topic, let me remind you one thing. If you didn't subscribe my channel yet, try to subscribe it now itself, and please don't forget to press the bell icon. Okay. Now let us go directly to today's topic. See, today we are going to discuss about relation between zeros and coefficients of a polynomial. See, in our previous videos we have seen what is meant by zero of a polynomial and how to find out the zero of a polynomial algebraically and graphically. See, today we are going to discuss about the relationship between zeros and coefficients of a polynomial. We are considering two polynomials. One is quadratic polynomial and the other is cubic polynomial. We know that the standard form of a quadratic polynomial is ax square plus bx plus c, where a not equal to 0. And what is the standard form of a cubic polynomial? It is ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus b, where a not equal to 0. So here what are the coefficients? See, a is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and what is the c? C is the constant term, that is term independent of x. So here the coefficients are a, b, c and d. See, a is the coefficient of x cube, b is the coefficient of x square, and what is c? C is the coefficient of x, and d is the constant term, that is the term independent of x. See, now let us consider quadratic polynomial. In our previous video we have seen that a quadratic polynomial has two zeros. Correct? A quadratic polynomial is a second degree polynomial. A second degree polynomial will have two zeros. So let us assume that let alpha and beta are the zeros. This is a quadratic polynomial, and we know that a quadratic polynomial has two zeros, and we are assuming that alpha and beta are the zeros of this quadratic polynomial. So we can find out sum of the zeros alpha plus beta and product of the zeros alpha into beta. Alpha and beta are the zeros of the polynomial. Why we are taking alpha and beta are the zeros? Because this is a quadratic polynomial, and we know that a quadratic polynomial will have how many zeros? Two zeros. And we are taking the zeros as alpha and beta. So we can find out alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. What is meant by alpha plus beta? Alpha and beta are the zeros. Alpha plus beta is the sum of the zeros. That means we are simply adding the zeros of this quadratic polynomial. What is alpha into beta? Alpha and beta are the zeros, therefore alpha into beta is the product of the zeros. Similarly, let us consider cubic polynomial. See, cubic polynomial will have how many zeros? Three zeros. See, cubic polynomial means it is a third degree polynomial. A third degree polynomial will have three zeros. So let us assume that let alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros of the polynomial. Let us assume that alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros of this third degree polynomial. So we can find out the sum of the zeros like this. We can find out the sum of the zeros alpha plus beta plus gamma. Alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros. Three zeros are there because this is a third degree polynomial. So alpha plus beta plus gamma is the sum of the zeros. Again we can find out the product of the zeros. But by finding out the product of the zeros, two cases are there. We can find out sum of the product of the zeros taking two at a time. See, three zeros are there. Suppose we are only taking two zeros at a time. Suppose we are taking alpha and beta. Then what is the product of the zeros? Alpha into beta. And next, suppose we are taking beta and gamma. What is the product of those two zeros? Beta into gamma. And suppose we are taking alpha and gamma. Then what is the product of the roots? Alpha into gamma. And suppose what is this? This is product of the zero. These are product of the zeros taking two at a time. And we can find out the sum of the product of the zeros taking two at a time. That means we will have to add these three terms. Alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma. What is this? This is sum of what? Product of the zeros taking two at a time. We are only taking two roots at a time. Here we are taking two roots alpha and beta. Here we are taking beta and gamma. Here we are taking alpha and gamma. So alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma is nothing but the sum of the product of the zeros taking two at a time. So alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma, that also we can find out. And again we can find out three zeros are there. See, I think for zeros I usually use the word roots. Actually polynomial will not have roots, but polynomial equation have roots. You must understand that. So alpha beta beta gamma and plus alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma. What is this? It is sum of the product of the zeros taking two at a time. And next we can find out alpha into beta into gamma. Alpha into beta into gamma is simply the product of the zeros. Right? Alpha into beta into gamma is the simple product of the zeros. That means we are multiplying all the three zeros of the polynomial. See, now let us try to understand how to find out these results. For that, first of all, you must understand that sum of the roots is negative. Alpha plus beta and alpha plus beta plus gamma. Alpha plus beta, you will have to start from the second term here. What is the coefficient of x? It is b. Just start from the second term. It is b by coefficient of x square, b by a. That is negative. And next alpha into beta will be c by a. It is positive. That means you will have to, the first result, sum of the roots is negative, and from there we will have to change the sign alternatively. Here the sum of the roots is negative and product of the roots taking two at a time. Here only two roots are there, alpha into beta. That is positive c by a. So first is minus b by a and the next is c by a. The common denominator here is a. Here what will be the sum of the roots? We will have to start from the second term. Coefficient of the second term is b. That means coefficient of x square is b, and we know that the sum of the zeros is minus b by a. It is the same result. So minus b by alpha plus beta plus gamma will be minus b by a. So what will be the sum of the product of the roots taking two at a time? It will be, so we have to start from this term, second term. Next is c by a. See, the common denominator is a. C by a. So this is negative, this is positive, and what will be the product of the zeros? Product of the zeros is d by a. D by a. And it is negative. That means you will have to change the sign alternatively. Just remember like this. So here the common denominator is a. So what is the first result? It is sum of the zeros. Sum of the zeros is minus b by a. Sum of the zeros is negative. Next, c by a, which is sum of the product of the zeros taking two at a time. And next is alpha into beta into gamma. That is d by a. Right. So what are the results? First is b by a, which is negative, then c by a, which is positive, then d by a, which is negative. That means change the sign alternatively. This is sum of the zeros. This is sum of the product of the zeros taking two at a time. This is simply the product of the zeros. Right. So you will have to understand this result. So now what is the result? For the quadratic polynomial ax square plus bx plus c, we are assuming assuming that alpha and beta are the zeros because a quadratic polynomial has two zeros. Then sum of the zeros, that is alpha plus beta, will be minus b by a. And the product of the zeros, alpha into beta, is c by a. That means here b by a is the first result, c by a is the second result. Common denominator is a. First is negative and second result is positive. Here, consider the cubic polynomial ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d where a not equal to 0. So since this is a cubic polynomial, we are assuming that alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros. Because a cubic polynomial will have how many zeros? 3 zeros. Then alpha plus beta plus gamma, that is sum of the zeros. First will be minus b by a. Next will be plus c by a. And the last result will be d by a. It is very simple to remember. Okay. So alpha plus beta plus gamma will be minus b by a. So first term is negative. Next is alpha beta plus beta gamma plus alpha gamma. It is simply sum of, it is the sum of three terms. Sum of what? Sum of product of the zeros taking 2 at a time. That is c by a plus c by a. And the last is product of the zeros taking all the zeros of the polynomial. Alpha, beta and gamma are the zeros of the polynomial. Then the product of the zeros is alpha into beta into gamma, which is minus b by a. So how will you remember these three results? First is minus b by a. Next is plus c by a. And the last result is minus d by a. You will have to change the sign alternatively. So you will have to understand these two results. Okay. Now let us go through some problems based on these two results. Okay. See, let us consider the first problem. See, find the zeros of x square plus 7x plus 10 and verify the relationship between zeros and coefficients. That is the first question. First part of this question is you will have to find the zeros of this polynomial. See, in our last lecture we have seen how to find out the zero of a polynomial algebraically. How to find out the zero of a polynomial algebraically? Just equate the given polynomial to 0 and then find out the value of the variable. So what is the variable here? X is the variable here. So equate this polynomial to 0 and then find out the value of x. So let us equate the given polynomial to 0 to find out the zeros of this polynomial. Okay. So x square plus 7x plus 10 equal to 0. So how will you factorize this second degree polynomial? You will have to split the middle term. So in order to split the middle term, how will you split the middle term? You will have to find two numbers whose sum is 5. Sum is not 5, extremely sorry. Sum is equal to 7. And what is product? Product is equal to 1 into 10. Product is equal to 1 into 10, that is 10. See, in order to factorize this second degree polynomial, you will have to split the middle term. In order to split the middle term, let us find two numbers whose sum is coefficient of x, that is sum is equal to 7. And the product is equal to a into c, coefficient of x square into constant term, 1 into 10. So, what are the numbers whose sum is 7 and product is 10? It is clearly 2 and 5. Numbers are 2 and 5. So we will have to split the middle term. How will you split the middle term? X square plus, see, 7x is to be written as 2x plus 5x. X square plus 2x plus 5x plus 10 equal to 0. So from the first two terms we can find out, we can take x outside, x square plus 2x. So x can be taken out. X into, from x square if you take x outside, you will get x. Plus from 2x, if you take x outside, remaining is 2. So x into x plus 2. X into x is x square, x into 2x. Plus 5x plus 10. So from these two terms, 5 can be taken out. 2 remains. So 5 into x plus 2 equals 0. See, in these two terms, here we have two terms here. So in these two terms, x plus 2 is a common factor. So x plus 2 is a common factor. X plus 2 into, from this term, if you take x plus 2 outside, x remains. X plus, from this term, if you take up x plus 2 outside, the remaining is plus 5 equal to 0. So x plus 2 into x plus 5 equal to 0. So now equate each of the factors to 0. Correct the zero factor theorem. If a into b equal to 0, then what does it mean? Either a equal to 0 or b equal to 0. So x plus 2 into x plus 5 equal to 0 means x plus 2 equal to 0 implies x is equal to minus 2, and x plus 5 equal to 0 implies x is equal to minus 5. So the zeros are, what are the zeros of this polynomial? Minus 2 and minus 5 are the zeros of the polynomial. And you are required to verify the relationship between zeros and coefficients. So what is the given polynomial? X square plus 7x plus 10. See, we have seen that what is sum of the zeros? Sum of zeros. What is sum of zeros? We have seen that sum of the zeros is minus b by a. What is minus? What is b? It is the coefficient of x. It is 7. Minus 7 by a is the coefficient of x square, which is 1. So this is minus 7. Sum of the zeros is minus 7. And what is the product of zeros? Product of zeros is c by a. You have seen these two results. Sum of the zeros is minus b by a, and product of the zeros is c by a. What is c? C is the constant term, which is 10. By what is a? A is the coefficient of x square, which is 1. That is 10. So we know that sum of the zeros is minus 7 and product of the zeros is plus 10. How will you verify this? The zeros are minus 2 and minus 5. What is the sum of the zeros? What is sum of the zeros? Minus 2 plus minus 5. To find out the sum of the zeros, just add the two zeros. So minus 2 plus minus 5. What is that? Minus 7. What is the product of the zeros? Product of the zeros? Product is equal to minus 2 into minus 5. These two are the zeros. Minus 2 and minus 5 are the zeros. So how will you find out the product of the zeros? Just multiply the given zeros. So minus 2 into minus 5 is plus 10. So sum of the zeros is minus 7. Here also we have got the answer as minus 7. And what is the product of the zeros? It is plus 10. Here also product of the zeros is c by a, which is 10 by 1, that is 10. I think this problem is quite clear to you. Let us move to the second problem. See here, you are required to find the value of k such that the polynomial, this is a given polynomial, has sum of its zeros equal to half of their product. Correct. So this polynomial has a peculiarity. What is that? The sum of its zeros is equal to half of their product. So this is a second degree polynomial. So for a second degree polynomial, let us assume that alpha and beta. For a second degree polynomial, two zeros are there. We are assuming that let alpha and beta be the zeros. Let alpha and beta be the zeros of the polynomial. So what will be alpha plus beta? We can find out alpha plus beta and alpha into beta. Alpha plus beta is sum of the roots. What is sum of the roots? Minus b by a. What is b? B is the coefficient of x. Correct. So here a is equal to 1. And what is b? B is the coefficient of x, which is minus of a plus x. And what is c? C is the constant term. Constant term is a term independent of x, which is 2 into 2k minus 1. Okay. So alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a, which is minus. We are putting this negative sign as it is. Minus, what is b? Minus of k plus 6. Minus of k plus 6 by what is a? A is the coefficient of x square. So here minus of k plus 6 is b. So minus b is minus, where keeping this minus sign as it is. And b is the coefficient of x, which is minus of k plus 6, by a is the coefficient of x square, which is 1. But minus minus becomes plus. So this is k plus 6 by 1. What is k plus 6 by 1? It is k plus 6 itself. So let k plus 6. That is the sum of the zeros. So sum of the zeros is minus b by a, that is minus of k plus 6 by 1, that is k plus 6. What is product of the zeros? Product of the zeros alpha into beta is c by a. You know that this is c by a. What is c? C is the constant term. Constant term means the term independent of x. And what is the term independent of x here? This is the term involving x, and the term involving term independent of x is the last term, which is 2 into 2k minus 1. That is plus 2 into 2k minus 1 is the value of c, which is the constant term or the term independent of x. 2 into 2k minus 1 by what is a? A is the coefficient of x square, which is 1. X square means 1x square. What is 1? So multiplying 2 into 2k, 4k, minus 2 into 1, 2, 4k minus 2. So what is alpha plus beta? K plus 6. What is alpha into beta? 4k minus 2. And what is the given condition? This is a board examination question in the year 2019. See, what is the given condition? It is given that sum of zeros is equal to half of their product. What is sum of zeros? Alpha plus beta. So sum of zeros is alpha plus beta, and that is equal to sum of its zeros, alpha plus beta, is equal to half of their product. What is product of the roots? Alpha into beta. Half of the product is alpha into beta by 2. Is it clear? How do you obtain that half? In order to obtain half of something, just divide the quantity by 2. So sum of the zeros is alpha plus beta, and that is equal to half of their product. Half their product is alpha into beta. To obtain the half, you will have to divide it by 2. So according to the given condition, alpha plus beta is equal to alpha beta by 2. Just substitute the value of alpha plus beta and alpha beta. What is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is k plus 6. And that is equal to what is alpha beta? Alpha beta is 4k minus 2. 4k minus 2 by 2. We are simply substituting alpha plus beta and alpha beta. What is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is sum of the roots, which is minus b by a, minus b is the coefficient of x, minus of k plus 6 by a is 1, that is k plus 6. Similarly, alpha beta is c by a, which is 4k minus 2. It is given that sum equal to half of the product. Sum is alpha plus beta, that is k plus 6, is equal to product is 4k minus 2, half of the product is 4k minus 2 by 2. See, we will have to find out the value of k. For that, if you take this divided by 2 to the left hand side, it becomes 2 into something. So that means 2 into this will be equal to the numerator. So 2 into k, 2k, plus 2 into 6, 12 is equal to 4k minus 2. That means we are transposing this divided by 2 to the left hand side, so that it becomes into 2. Here by 2 becomes into 2 here. So 2 into k plus 6 is 2 into k plus 2 into 6. 2 into k is 2k plus 2 into 6 is 12 is equal to, here we are left with numerator only, 4k minus 2. See, to find out the value of k, take all the terms involving k to the left hand side. So here we have 2k. Here we have 4k, and that is brought to the left hand side, so that it becomes minus 4k. Here we have minus 2, and that is written as it is. Plus 2 is brought to the right hand side. So plus 12 is brought to the right hand side, so that it becomes minus 12. Now 2k minus 4k. What is 2 minus 4? It is minus 2. So 2k minus 4k is minus 2k. That is equal to minus 2 minus 12. What is that? Minus 2 minus 12 is minus 14. And what will be k? K is equal to minus 14 by minus 2. That is plus 7. So what is the value of k? K is equal to plus 7. I think it clear to you. See, let us go through the third problem. See, alpha and beta are the zeros of this polynomial. Here the variable is y. 2y square plus 7y plus 5. Find alpha plus beta plus alpha beta. It is again a board examination question in the year 2010. See, what is, if alpha and beta are the zeros, what is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta, what is that? Alpha plus beta will be minus b by a. Minus b by a. What is minus? What is b? B is the coefficient of y. Here y is the variable. Minus b. What is b? B is the coefficient of y. And what is a? A is the coefficient of y square. And what is c? Constant term 5. So minus b by a means minus 7 by what is a? A is the coefficient of the second degree term. That is coefficient of y square. That is 2. Minus 7 by 2. What is alpha into beta? Which is c by a. Alpha into beta is c. What is c? C is the constant term which is 5 here. 5 by c by a. C is the constant term which is 5 by a. What is a? A is the coefficient of y square which is 2. 5 by 2. So we know that alpha plus beta is minus 7 by 2 and alpha into beta is 5 by 2. You are required to find out alpha plus beta plus alpha beta. So what will be this? Alpha plus beta. What is alpha plus beta? Alpha plus beta is minus 7 by 2. So alpha plus beta is minus 7 by 2 plus, what is alpha plus beta? It is minus 7 by 2 plus, next is alpha into beta. What is alpha into beta? 5 by 2. So 2 is the common denominator. So 2 into, simply add the numerators, minus 7 plus 5. So you will get minus 2 by 2, that is minus 1. Minus 2 by 2 is minus 1. So I think you understood all these problems. See, I think for the time being this is enough. Now next video we will discuss more about